Good to be with you. I'm Tony DeCopo. The breaking news right now. Two landmark decisions from the Supreme Court, a major defense of birthright citizenship and a ruling on transgender athletes in female sports. The reaction coming in tonight and what happens next. Also developing tonight, more than 200 million Americans sweltering under a dangerous heat dome. Rob Marciano here, sweating it out. Just in, the White House revealing the latest snapshot of the president's finances and the fortune he's made from crypto. And Serena Williams back on the court while LeBron James makes a major move. How elite athletes are winning the battle against Father Time. And the only event that could possibly rival the country's big birthday, Taylor Swift's big wedding. What sources are revealing tonight. And the good stuff, our week-long celebration of America continues tonight with kids from Clifton, New Jersey.
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopo.
Good evening. The Supreme Court today gutted one of President Trump's signature policies, rejecting his effort to end birthright citizenship as we know it. In attacking that 150-year-old right, the Trump administration argued it, quote, degrades the meaning and value of American citizenship and doesn't work in a modern world where, quote, 8 billion people are one plane ride away from having a child who's a U.S. citizen. But Chief Justice John Roberts rejected those arguments in a 26-page majority opinion, while Justice Samuel Alito, in dissent, called this one of the most important decisions in the history of the court and a serious mistake. Chief Legal Correspondent Jan Crawford has been digging into this ruling since the moment it came down and joins us again. Jan, good evening.
Well, good evening, Tony. The court said that the framers of the 14th Amendment extended the promise of citizenship to almost, quote, every free person born in this land, rejecting President Trump's efforts to rewrite the Constitution with the stroke of a pen. In one of the first executive orders of his second term, on Inauguration Day, President Trump tried to end birthright citizenship. Today, after the Supreme Court rejected his effort in a forcefully worded opinion, he called the ruling too bad for our country and urged Congress to take action immediately. Trump had argued the 14th Amendment was intended to grant citizenship to freed slaves and their descendants after the Civil War, not to the 250,000 babies born every year to people here illegally or temporarily. But in the decision by Chief Justice John Roberts, joined by Trump appointee Amy Coney Barrett and the 3 liberal justices, the court said, under the Constitution, they are citizens at birth. Juan Perano, CEO of LULAC, cheered the ruling.
I mean, the stakes are 400,000 to 500,000 children born in the United States to parents that may be undocumented, or at least in the process of getting legal status in the United States. All those children born would not have been U.S. citizens, and they would have been stateless.
Now, the decision means that the court ruled against 2 of President Trump's major initiatives. Earlier this term, they struck down his tariffs policy, and today, birthright citizenship. Tony?
And Jan, that wasn't the only big decision on this. The court's final day of the term, the justices also weighed whether states can ban transgender athletes from competing in female school and college sports. How'd they rule there?
Tony, the court said that states can limit girls' and women's sports to biological females. They rejected arguments by transgender athletes who wanted to play on girls' teams. Becky Pepper Jackson is identified as a girl since she was in 4th grade and now is a star athlete, a West Virginia shot put champion.
I think every transgender girl should have the right to be who they are and play on the sports team that they identify with.
But the Supreme Court is leaving that decision up to the states. In a 6-3 majority ruling written by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, the court said states could ban transgender participation in girls' and women's sports without violating the Constitution or the landmark 1972 law known as Title IX. The ruling reinstates West Virginia's ban, one of 27 state laws that restrict girls' teams based on biological sex, a distinction Kavanaugh said was reasonable, given the inherent physical differences between the sexes.
Oh, man, I am ecstatic.
Maddie Kenyon ran track at Idaho State University. She competed against and lost to a transgender athlete.
If men are allowed to compete in women's sports, then women will be barred from their sports and have to watch their teammates pushed off podiums. That's exactly what I saw. That's why I'm so grateful that that's not the case.
Now, this was the last day of a monumental term. The justices will be back on the bench the first Monday of October, and it's already shaping up like another blockbuster. They've got cases on parental rights, religion, and whether or not state and local governments can ban assault weapons. Tony?
All right, Jen, thank you. Now to this massive 4th of July heat wave affecting more than 200 million people across 2/3 of the country and right on through the holiday on Saturday. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen joins us now from New York City's Central Park, where record heat is expected later in the week. Tom, good evening.
Hey there, Tony. Good evening to you. Well, people here are bracing for that heat dome that's setting in over the next few days between the highs and the overnight lows. And let's face it, they won't even get that low. We're expecting to see more than 300 records set through Saturday.
New York City is preparing for what could be a record-breaking heat wave, with temperatures expected to hit triple digits this week.
If the forecast holds, this could be the hottest 4th of July since 2010. These are extremely dangerous conditions.
Above ground, the temperature is 89 degrees, but believe it or not, below ground here in the New York City subway, it is even warmer. Here's a thermometer that we have right now. It is showing 93.9.
Tomorrow, the city will open hundreds of cooling centers. The extreme heat from the Midwest is moving east, and it's expected to stick around into the holiday weekend. Cities throughout the country are helping their residents stay cool. In Nashville, heat patrols are handing out cold bottled water to its homeless population.
We got some water. Anybody down there?
What are the red flags you should look for that may indicate a heat-related health emergency?
From the heat exhaustion standpoint, we're primarily thinking about the fatigue, the lightheadedness, the muscle cramps, the GI upset. From the heat stroke, the differentiating factor is that altered mental status, that confusion, that delirium. If you are experiencing any symptoms of heat stroke, you really need to make sure you're coming to the emergency department as quickly as possible.
And Tony, heat is the #1 weather-related killer across the world. We saw that in Europe, where more than 1,300 people died from the heat in that record-breaking heat wave. Tony?
All right, Tom, thank you. Let's get right to the timing of the heat wave and when temperatures are expected to spike. Meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking that and the fire danger out west. Rob, good evening.
Hey, Tony, what may be most impressive about this heat wave is the expansiveness of it. Nearly 2/3 of America are under some sort of heat alert. Check this out, and over 100 million are under extreme heat warnings, and many of those are the big cities. So it's inescapable at this point, with temperatures that will feel like, with the humidity, up to 112 degrees Fahrenheit. So heat dome building, top to bottom, high pressure, sinking air, strong sun, all that means really, really warm temperatures. And with the humidity, temperatures will feel like 109 in Louisville tomorrow. It'll feel like 107 in D.C. on Thursday, up and over 100 degrees for 3 days at least, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and similar numbers all the way back down to the south. Any sort of relief on the 4th itself, you got to go to the west, where they're enduring the fires in Utah and Colorado. We've got those red flag warnings that remain up, and storms are firing around the ridge of this heat dome, but that's your only chance of seeing any sort of relief in the east over the next few days. Tony?
Rob, thank you very much. There's breaking news now from the White House, where we're learning a lot more about President Trump's bank account tonight. His annual financial disclosure report shows the president made more than $1 billion last year alone in cryptocurrency, including hundreds of millions from selling those Trump meme coins. Let's bring in senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang with more. Weijia, good evening.
Tony, good evening. A few figures jumped out because of how big they are. President Trump's financial disclosure reveals he reported more than $1.4 billion in income from his family's cryptocurrency ventures last year, including $635 million in royalties from those Trump meme coins and more than $500 million from World Liberty Financial token sales, which is a venture he and his sons co-founded. Democratic lawmakers have long criticized Trump for crypto-friendly deregulation, accusing the president of gutting including safeguards to personally benefit, although it is not illegal for Trump to invest in private companies. And tonight, the White House says there are no conflicts of interest. Also new tonight, President Trump just announced the Republican Party will hold a convention for the midterm elections for the first time ever in Dallas in September. He says it will include a massive rally and entertainment. Tony.
Weijia, thank you. On another subject, there's growing evidence that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are indeed getting married here in New York City on Friday. No word officially from the couple, but some law enforcement sources are talking details. Jolene Kent, our special assignment correspondent on the Taylor Swift wedding beat, is at Madison Square Garden with more.
The stage is being set. Workers at Madison Square Garden spent another day unloading equipment as preparations continue for the wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I mean, I can't believe it. It's amazing that she's doing something like that.
Two law enforcement sources familiar with the security planning tell CBS News that Swift and Kelce plan to host two events at the historic venue. First, a rehearsal dinner on Thursday evening inside the Garden's Infosys Theater for about 100 people, followed by the main event, a wedding celebration on Friday that could run from 4 p.m. till 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
What we can expect is a pretty secure lockdown of the streets around it, much like we would see if there was a visit by a major dignitary. About 80% of the New York Police Department will probably be on duty. There are no excuses, no time off. They're going to have everyone they have ready to be of service to the city.
So all hands on deck.
All hands on deck is exactly the way to look at it.
The NYPD declined to comment on what's actually happening here, but as for the additional cost of any public security that would be needed in addition to what's already here, that falls on the city. It could be reimbursed. That has happened before. And in the coming days, Tony, we do expect to see fans gathering in specifically cordoned off areas to catch a glimpse of the bride-to-be. Tony.
All right, Jolene Kent for us tonight. Jolene, thank you. Still ahead, what would you do if you found a bear in the passenger seat of your truck? What this man did with a phone and a 2x4. That's a good idea. Stay with us. The age of 40 is not what it used to be, at least not if you're a professional athlete. 44-year-old Serena Williams just returned to Wimbledon, albeit losing to a 20-year-old. 41-year-old LeBron James just announced he's playing another year in the NBA, albeit leaving the Lakers. And all week we've been watching a record number of 40-year-olds in the World Cup. Whatever happened to getting old? We asked our senior national correspondent, Mark Strassman, to investigate.
Lionel Messi is a marvel for the ages. Any age. He's 39. 8 World Cup players, including legendary Cristiano Ronaldo, are over 40. At Wimbledon this week, Serena and Venus Williams, 44 and 46, will serve and volley against Father Time.
If you're the best in the world and you lose 5% of your effectiveness, you're still really good.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Guim Gonzalez-Lopez is the team physician for the NHL's New Jersey Devils.
How do you explain this herd of unicorns?
The question is, are we hearing more about it because it is Messi and Ronaldo and the Williams sisters, or is there a general trend, for athletes to compete at a very high level as they get older?
Maybe both.
You do have to take care of yourself and you do have to train and be mindful.
Olympic freestyle skier Gus Kenworthy won silver at the 2014 Games. This year, at age 34, he finished 6th, his event's oldest competitor.
Physically, I don't really know what the peak is for men, but in my mind, maybe it's naive, but I feel like it's like 40.
Clearly, fitness, training, and lifestyle approaches have changed. Add in rare physical gifts and relentless discipline, and you've got a LeBron, a Brady, a Serena.
Their rest, right, the recovery, that's really important. Their sleep, they've modified that 20 years ago to get to the point now where they're still able to compete.
And there's a lesson here for the rest of us. Same discipline fundamentals apply. Exercise, diet, rest, and recovery. And when we fall short, say skip a workout or eat that pastry, it helps explain why we were never Olympians. Tony?
The age-defying Mark Strassman, thank you very much. Up next, a train derailment near Philadelphia, what we know about the response. 13 cars on a freight train jumped the tracks today in Pennsylvania, not far from Philadelphia. 3 of those cars contained potentially hazardous chemicals, police said, but a hazmat team responded and found no danger of leaks. Astronauts on the International Space Station handled a major chore today, replacing a 25-year-old joint on a robotic arm. All it took was a 7-hour and 20-minute spacewalk from astronauts Chris Williams and Jessica Meir. And a guy in Colorado last week went out to his truck and found a bear sitting in the front seat. No audio on this surveillance video, or I'm guessing we'd have to bleep something right about now. He did pull out a phone and start filming, because who would believe this, honestly? Eventually, with the encouragement of a wooden plank, the bear ran away. Up next, the good stuff. Grade schoolers celebrating America's 250th, what they're teaching us. We're back with the good stuff. What we learned about America from a visit to an elementary school recently just over the river in Clifton, New Jersey. We were there last week as students celebrated the country's 250th birthday with some historical figures present. And we watched as one of its second grade classes recited the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hands over their hearts, all eyes up on the flag.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We also asked some 5th graders what they think about when they're reciting the pledge and what they love about America.
I'm very proud to wake up every morning and be able to go to school, be able to do everything that I do, because I know some countries are not like this.
America means the land of free, and you could do like anything you put your mind to as long as you work hard for it.
And like when I grow up, I can be whatever I want. Like, I really want to be an astronaut, maybe.
I love that America is like this country that's diverse and innovative, and it's really like a land of endless opportunity for people, no matter their race, age, or like their religion.
In the end, what we learned in Clifton is that while it's up to us to teach our children about America, they are also teaching us what it means to be grateful for America. That's another day in America. I'm Tony DeCopel. For all of us here at CBS News, thank you for watching. And another note, please do join us on Saturday, the 4th of July, for our Great American Block Party, marking the country's 250th birthday. There will be music, celebrations from Washington and all across America. Meantime, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.